Most creators think originality is an advantage. If they find a new idea, a new angle, or a new format, everything will finally start working. In 2025, I believe that too. And it quietly made my business harder than it needed to be. And here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Originality doesn't create leverage, it creates friction. And if your content or business feels like it constantly needs more effort just to move forward, this is usually why. In this video, I'll show you why being original is killing most creator businesses and what actually scales instead. Here is no theory, not motivational, the systems behind businesses that grow without reinventing themselves every single week. Here is why I'm confident saying this. I've grown an Instagram account to over 100,000 followers, I've had 1,000 videos go viral, and I've built a YouTube channel that makes 4 figures a month with under 900 subscribers. Not because I'm more creative, not because I'm better at trends, but because I stopped optimizing for originality and started building systems around demand that already existed. That's when things stopped feeling fragile. Views didn't reset every single week, and income didn't depend on going viral again. And my content finally started compounding instead of expiring. Every system I run now, content, offers, backend workflows, follows the same rule. Never invent demand. You need to remove friction from existing demand. Once you see this, it becomes very hard to unsee. For example, Cal AI didn't invent calorie tracking. That market was already crowded. MyFitnessPal, Lose It, Chronometer, everyone already understood the problem. Tracking food is annoying. And that's the real problem where you can fight demand. Most apps made users do manual work. Cal AI removed friction. You take a photo and the system does the rest. Same problem, same demand, but better execution. They didn't create new desire. They made existing desire easier to act on, easier to use. And that's why it spread. Second example, Notion. Notion didn't invent notes. They didn't invent documents, tasks, or wikis. All of that already existed. Evernote, Google Docs, Trello, Confluence. What Notion did was combine familiar tools into one flexible system. So, instead of forcing people into rigid workflows, they let users build their own. Same components, but different structure. And not originality, more recognition. Once you see this, it feels obvious. And that's why it scaled to the moon. Here's the rule most creators miss. Originality increases friction. Recognition removes it. Friction kills conversion, but recognition speeds it up. The more someone has to think to understand what you do, the less likely they are to buy. The fastest growing businesses always look obvious in hindsight for a reason. And this is where creator businesses stall. They keep asking how to stand out, how to be different, how to avoid copying. But the better question is, how do I make this easier to understand, easier to trust, and easier to act on? So most creators don't have an ideas problem. They have unclear positioning, fuzzy messaging, and content that isn't connected to a backend system. So they try to innovate their way out of a systems problem. More formats, more ideas, more content. But nothing seems to be working. If views are coming in but leverage isn't, if everything still depends on you posting more, if growth resets every time you stop creating, that's not because you aren't original enough. It's because the system isn't doing the work. Scaling doesn't come from new ideas. It comes from clearer positioning, recognizable messaging, and systems that turn attention into leverage. And this applies to content, to offers, to products, and creator businesses. Originality feels good, but systems make money. When someone tells me they are stuck, it's almost never because they have run out of ideas. It's because everything they are doing isn't aligned into a system that actually converts. And that's what I diagnose privately. If you want your content, positioning, and backend aligned around buyers, you can book an audit below. Click the first link in the description and I'll see you on the next one.